Golf has always been a game of precision and skill, and although these are still needed today, there is a new must-have feature you need in your game if you want to be one of the best players in the world, and that is power. In the last 10 years, the average driving distance for a PGA Tour player has risen by 10 yards, and this is increasing year on year. But why has this been? Well, the first reason is the equipment. Golf club and ball manufacturers have spent millions on research and technology to try and get maximum distance and to earn the right to market that their equipment will make you hit the ball the furthest. The other reason is the development in sports science, which has allowed pros following the latest techniques and training to get more distance off the tee. With all the effort to try and increase distance over the years, a very important issue has been overlooked, and that is that some golf courses will become too easy to play and that they will be shorter for pros who can smash the ball. And this has resulted in a report being launched by the R&A and USGA.
There's a lot of stats behind the reason for the report to basically suggest that people are just continuing to hit it further and further and further. Where is the game going to end up going in the future? And what does that mean to our courses? Pressures on courses with increased population mean that, if anything, they need to be smaller. Houses being built around them, etc., etc. And suddenly everyone's hitting it further and further and further. There's an obvious clash point coming.
To try and reduce ball flight, there have been suggestions that driver shafts will be shortened, the spring factor from the club's face will be reduced, and golf balls will be manufactured so that they can only travel a certain distance. However, by doing this, there is an argument that the entertainment is being taken out of the game, but there are other ways to get around this issue.
You can create bouncier golf courses, you can create longer rough, create thinner fairways, you can change where the widths of the fairways narrow so that it basically suggests you shouldn't be hitting driver.
There have been attempts to limit the ball flight before, but they haven't worked.
These guys are, they've got a team behind them now. It's not just a caddy and a coach anymore. They've got psychologists, they've got strength coaches, they've got masseuses, they got all these, there's so much money invested into it. I mean, just limiting the ball is not going to be enough. They're still going to find ways around it.
As a counter-argument, if there was no restrictions put in place, it actually could be more entertaining to watch, as pros would be trying to drive par fours in one, making it risk-reward, and that would make the game more entertaining for the fans.
You see Bryson pulling out driver in the Open, when you've got 20-yard wide fairways, it's playing firm and fast, and he's got a 30, 40 mile per hour hurricane in his face or off the left or right. Be interesting to see if he's, brave enough to hit drive. And if he is and he pulls it off, then he deserves it, in my opinion.
This is certainly an interesting debate, and it is one that not many amateur golfers aren't even aware of. It is clear that there is something that needs to be done, or we will potentially lose some of our oldest golf courses to the new power that is becoming available. But hitting the ball far is one thing that every golfer wants to do, and the thought that this could be restricted may not be good for the sport.